What is up, my fellow Sambarians? Today I was just going to do a quick little video on how to install an odometer, tachometer. This is the big guy, butterfly. It's about 5 inches. I have, as my friend would say, that's what she said. And it's got the shift light. So I know Mr. Subaru has a video out there that's pretty helpful as well. He locates the tach in the dash, which covers up, it's not, his truck isn't a supercharged, so it covers up that kind of symbol of the car with the 4 wheels poking out. This is a 97 Diaz, so on this particular truck I have my water temp gauge to the right, so I can't really put anything in the center console here because in the dash instrument cluster part, because it will cover up stuff. So I have it mounted on the I have it mounted to the right of the dash. I think it's a lot nicer on the right when you're driving. It's very easy to see. It's not, you know, you're not doing a whole lot of head moving, and it's right above the brake fluid reservoir, so you can sneak your wires in through the top of that pretty easily. I couldn't put it in the middle because I have the cup holder, otherwise that might have been an option as well, but I feel like this spot's pretty solid. I haven't had any issues with it on my KS4 with flopping or anything. It's pretty solid, and it is a big tach. So let me kind of give you a quick rundown, and hopefully this will help you out if you decide to go with a slightly different approach with your tach. So as you can see, I have it mounted right there to the right of the cluster, and you know, from a driver's perspective, pretty visible. I have the wires going in through the lid cover for the brake fluid reservoir, which makes it very easy to snake in there. I have it in a wire loom, and if I ever need to remove anything, I have all the wires stuck together with push pins, so it can be easily unplugged, and then this lid can be popped off and not have to worry about cutting any wires. So let's go over the wiring part. So this is a 97 Diaz. I think it's slightly different than some other trucks. There's a couple extra bolts I've noticed in this one than say my 92 or my 95 KS4. So there's 2 there, then there's 2 here. So we'll take those out. So after you get those 2 screws or 4 screws, depending on your truck or van, we're gonna then want to carefully pop this off. And what's really funny is all 3 of my sandbars that have come from Japan have always had this thing popped wonky and like cracked like this, like never fully put together. I don't know if they do something before they send it over here. They remove these things and then quickly stick them back together. I don't know, it's really bizarre. But just make sure when we put it back together, we'll just make sure that all these these hooks up here click on, and then looks like I might have a broken one, might be the reason, and then those hooks clip back onto here and squeeze together tightly and not looking all janky, cracked open like someone was trying to steal your vehicle. So what you're also gonna need is a test light, because we're gonna need to find, well, I know where it is, but what we're gonna do is we need to find the power to turn on the 12 volt when the vehicle turns on. So when you take that part off, you have your wiring, kind of this wiring harness here, and the part that's closer to your steering column, your steering wheel, you want to be on that side, and it's a black wire with a red stripe, and you're gonna take your, on the auto gauge, your auto meter tack, it's the red wire, and you're just gonna take your little splice into the red and the black wire. So just make sure that when you turn, for instance, right now we have nothing, but as soon as I turn on the car, bang, red light. So that will turn the tachometer on. So once you get that teed in, what I actually did, you can find a switch that only turns on when you turn on the lights. You can, I'm not sure, Mr. Sambar might have that, but I just have it hooked up to the power, so as soon as I turn the key on, the lights and the tack turn on. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm gonna see the lights no matter what. I'm always running with the headlights on. So that was just a quick little simple thing. Plug the power in with the accessory wire, if you will, on your tack. And then now the part where we want to pull the signal from for the RPMs is to the left of your steering column now, kind of underneath the fuse block here. You have a wiring harness coming up through the floor, a wire loom, big old hunk of wires coming up through your floor, and you're gonna look at the one that's open like this, and you're gonna find a solid yellow wire. So I mean, it just depends on your car where it's at, but go through, there's only 3 or 4 yellow wires in there, and there is one solid. Mine is solid, but it has some like red dashes, you know, every couple inches going up, but it's not a stripe. So you want to find that solid yellow. And you can also test it, ground your light, and when you start the car, that yellow wire will just keep the, it's a quick flash. You probably won't be able to see it with your own eyes, but the light, test light, you know, will have a quick flicker to it, or it will be solid, because it will let you know it's getting signal from the coil or whatever it's telling it. It's got its guts running right now. And then once you get that connected, you're gonna have to obviously ground it. And what I found to be a quick little grounding spot is, you know, here's your accelerator, and go up your steering column, if you will, and you'll see this front mounting cross member, and above it there was an empty bolt hole. There's quite a few empty bolt holes on it, so I stuck an eyelet on the ground, and then I took I found an extra bolt in the truck, or I think from the other truck, and stuck it in there. It's a M10 or an M something, I can't remember. It's a metric bolt. You can buy them anywhere, and I've got a stash of metric bolts in my shop, so I just grabbed one and it went right into that threaded hole, and then you ground it and you don't have to worry about finding another spot. So that's pretty quick and simple. But yeah, I just put wire loom, drill the hole through the top of this cover, and then I took 2 screws, popped it into the top of the dash part there, obviously with some 3M tape underneath it. Not like that's gonna make a huge difference, but it's pretty solid. I think it looks sick compared to the size of the van. The tack is pretty monster. I think they call it a monster gauge or monster tack or something. But putting it back together, same process. Put the cover back on and your screws, and good to go. Hopefully that was helpful. Very good tack. I have the other one, the Cobalt version, in my other truck, which is a cool one. I don't think they make them anymore. I bought that one for my Ford Festiva back in high school, like, oh man, a long time ago. Very long time ago. And I still had it, so I stuck it in the other truck, and then I had to get another big one for the van. So yeah, it looks really cool. Hopefully that was helpful and awesome. Thanks for watching.